Hey, I'm just popping on here from Pensacola, Florida, and I want to tell you about my new series that's coming up, Less is More. And I came up with this because of the response that I received from the Five Principles episodes and how people found less stress in their minds and bodies after applying the techniques that I shared. So check those out. Less is more coming up. My first one was with Antonia, and she's going to share some great insights and a meditation with you. But I just want to turn them, show you where I'm at. Yeah, the beautiful beaches, and hopefully you can have less anxiety, less overwhelm, and more vitality in your life. Hello and welcome to Living with Intention. I am April Wyatt, and I am here to offer you different ways to promote your wellness. And in this new series, Less is More, I bring forward a different approach. So that way you can really think about how having less thoughts, distractions, less things to be in the doing of your mind can help you receive more in your life. And I'm bringing this forward because maybe you're feeling like you're always behind or finding yourself using your downtime to catch up, right? Especially in our professional lives, our phones are tied to emails or watches, and there's a constant reminder of work or something that you have to do. And even in your private life, once you get home, you're overwhelmed with all the tasks and things that need to be done. And that can really weigh heavy on your mind and your body because physiologically, we're not structured to be on 24/7, right? That literally weighs down again the body and the mind, and the nervous system then is literally, on overdrive. So when your energy is low, you're more susceptible to illnesses and diseases, as science has shown. So I am here to help you get off or at least slow down that hamster wheel so you can have less stress, allow yourself to decompress and ease your mind and tensions so that way you can experience more joy in your life. And my first guest of the series, Antonia Zigler, is a great example of applying less is more in her life. And she is the founder and CEO of Cut Loose LLC and offers intuitive life alignment coaching to overwhelmed and frustrated professionals. When I met Antonia online, I knew she would be an amazing person to co-create with. If you've been following me for a while, I love co-creating community with like-minded people because her mission is to make the world a better place by making spirituality and personal transformation practical and available to everyone. And she actually has done just that with her deep dive transformational coaching program. And are you ready for the title? You Untangled. Ugh, it's amazing. As she has helped others to climb out of lifelong misery into authentic joy. And Antonia's model is great. It's amazing because she says it's never too late, especially to grow and evolve, which is what working from the inside is all about. So, my friends, please welcome Antonia. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, April.
Yes. And for those who are new to you, can you please share your story and how you've shifted throughout your life to bring you where you're at right now?
hmm So my story, well, it's a long story, and I can't go into it all, but I can say that I realized at some point that I've been experiencing a low-grade depression for as long as I can remember, even as a child. So yeah, and we moved here to the United States 21 years ago. I'm German, still in my heart. So but we moved here, and at that back then I thought, oh, leave everything behind, my corporate career, and we just got married, so I'm here, I can do whatever I want and things will be great. But guess what? They were not, because after a while I was just trapped in the same old misery and emotions that kept me trapped all my life, like what I just mentioned. And that's when I discovered a transformational personal growth program, and it helped me so much. Like, it really helped me to understand what I believed about myself. And as long as I believed that, that's how I was trapped in my box. And so slowly learning how to get out of that box, and switching the belief about myself that I'm not the one who doesn't belong, but I'm the one who actually loves people and people love me, and just showing up in different ways. So that's how things shifted for me. I mean, it's still
Mm,
layers by layer, but it's
it takes a lot of courage
it does. It did. Yeah.
to recognize that and want more for yourself too.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, so please share with us the entanglement program that you created.
So the you untangled. It starts with the dreams and yearnings that you have for yourself, because that was even for me, like back then, or well, it was like in 2016, like when people asked me that questions, I was like, I knew what I didn't want, but I didn't know what I wanted. So just that, connecting with your heart's desires, that's a big step. And then from there, we take a look at, so what's holding you back? What are the stories that you keep telling yourself? What do you believe about yourself? And that's unveil that, and then from there we kind of change the narrative and get to the deeper truth of who you are, because then it's I'm not that, I'm not my story, I'm not, it's all happening in my thoughts. So it's really kind of cutting off your thoughts and getting into your body and into your heart. Even sometimes when you are in an emotional state, just put a hand on your body. It's this connection, this somatic connection that gets you back to yourself, to your true self. Yeah. And from that place, then you understand who you truly are. So it's like, it's that there is that person in you. It's always been there, but we forgot, and we have to remember. And that's the biggest thing for me, to connect you with your inner light that we all have, like this highest potential, which is one with God, or whichever name you want to call it, divine. We are all connected and we are all unique, but we do have this really big potential within us, and allowing that to come out step by step, but just knowing who I truly am, it really helps you to step forward and change your narrative and go on a new path to your best possible future. Yeah.
Ah, that sounds so beautiful. Yes, and it really does apply to the less is more, because as you shared that, understanding your heart's desires and following that and letting go of, all of those judgments or pressures that we put on ourselves to
Mhm.
conform to social norms, or even in childhood.
It's really about understanding that we are, not we are not what we think we are, and we are not, like all the circumstances we were born into, even the family that we chose. We choose where we want to be born into. It helps us to grow, but it doesn't define us. So so there's this, it's a little game in a way, but really understanding that we are not that, and then letting go. So there's a lot of cleansing that needs to be done, but it's really about setting an intention that you want to be who you truly are, and then the energy follows, and always being connected with this vibration of who you truly are. So there are like exercises where you can really connect. Like that's what I do for myself. I connect myself with my joy, and what does it feel like to feel abundant, which doesn't necessarily has to do with money. It's just how do I feel rich, and just feel it, and hold on to it, and reprogramming. Yeah.
Mm, most definitely. That's, building your emotional intelligence as well. Would you
Yeah.
mind just walking through a brief, like connecting to that abundance for our
Ooh,
listeners and viewers?
sure. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. So I hope if you're driving, maybe it's not a good way, but yeah, otherwise I will ask you to just find a comfortable seat, close your eyes, and just take a few deep breaths in and out. And just know that with every exhale, you allow your body to relax deeper. And then sometimes what means abundance to you, for me, it's I find myself in a beautiful field of sunflowers. There's not just one, there are many of them. And see this beauty, this light, the yellow that they shine out into the world. Maybe find another place or a thing, a person that makes you feel rich. Being grateful for someone or something is another way. Just connect with something that you really, truly appreciate. And fill yourself up with it. Let every single cell of your body be touched by it. And allow yourself to bask in that sensation. No need to share, it's all yours. And when you feel ready, just come slowly back into the here and now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Have just even having that gentle pause and recognizing that's all within me, within everyone that had that experience. I really hope that everyone either listening on the podcast or go over to YouTube and watch, because then you get even more of a feel um, of the beautiful support and energy. Yes, with that practice. Yeah, and even after that, and that's something that I do my best, um, and I try not to judge myself on expecting outcomes or anything. To pause, to connect to that deeper part, or to remind myself that I do have this abundance. And those sunflowers, oh, that was a lovely example of abundance.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I practice this for myself, and it's such an important thing, and a good way to do it actually is to do it in the morning before you even get up, before you get out of bed. Just, yeah, connect with a higher vibration of something that you really truly want to feel more of. And it's about, yeah, the energy. It goes out, and then something will come back in return. We don't know. There's no expectation, but it's just this, yeah, we just bring ourselves up into a higher field of vibration. And that's how we make this world a better place too. Yeah.
Mhm. And that's so profound because then we recognize that's within ourselves.
Yeah,
And then we stop looking outside of ourselves and expect others to fill our cups when really it's our responsibility.
exactly. It's all within us. Yeah. And that's the work that I do with my clients. It starts with us and not with somebody else. And even realizing or noticing that whenever we get triggered, it's not them, it's something within us. So they're purely a messenger to us. They're just trying unconsciously, they are trying to tell us something that they don't know of the task that they have for us, but they're, yeah, maybe they say something and something gets triggered within us, but it has nothing to do with the person in front of you and everything with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and that can be kind of challenging for people when they first start this practice to understand and accept that part of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about being self-responsible. Like, how, where can I be responsible for myself? And yeah, and accepting that, and yeah, be courageous to look at places that you don't want to look at, or yeah, because it's always easier to point our fingers towards others, but not looking at ourselves. How do we contribute in that place? Yeah.
Oh, 100% agree with that, Antonia. And also, even thinking about that, when we are distracted with other people's actions or what they say, or, that type of thing, because we can't control other people.
Mm.
The more that we reflect on ourselves, then less distractions of the other person or the situation.
Mm.
We just then it's important to bring it back to yourself and just witness how you still have that abundance and no
Mm.
one can take that away.
Yeah. And it's also about, keeping, like, how do how do we household our energy? Because if we get triggered by someone, we get angry, we get frustrated, resentful, or whatever, feeling small, we are giving away, and we really want to hold it. We want to hold on to our own energy and be a master in it. So, and that's, yeah, and we can only do that when we don't take things personal, when we, yeah, instead of making meaning of something, just reflecting. So what does it truly mean to me? So is it really important that I react? So, and just be present with yourself.
And it reminds me of uh, kind of I work I see like symbolic things. So like riding a bike, right? You really want to ride that bike when when you're a kid. Everybody else is riding their bike and it looks so easy, but you get on that bike and you feel kind of wonky, kind of wobbly. I didn't start with training wheels, by the way. It was old school. It was
Oh yeah.
like, get on the bike and I'll push you. And, you know, so when we start any practice, it's going to feel wonky. You're going to feel that you suck at it at
Mm.
first. And just knowing that it just gets better with practice and you're learning more about yourself in the process. I think that's what's really important
Mm-hmm.
is that we're building that relationship with ourselves. So that way, we'll upgrade from, whatever bike to, I don't know, a cross-trek bike or something, to where you can go on different terrains and do other things. But, you got to start somewhere. And
Mhm.
why not start with that gentle pause, as you so beautifully shared with us, and witness that abundance. And then you'll have less distractions, less thoughts when you're in that state.
Mm.
And then you can receive more of that, which is already within you.
Yeah, that's that's what we don't know, or with that what I had to learn, or like, yeah, I heard it from many different places, but now it's truly ingrained in me that we are born with the light within us, or like with the highest potential in us, and it's meant to come out. Yeah, so that's why we need to untangle all the weeds that keep us stuck, and yeah, and then cut loose what's not needed anymore, like really release everything that's holding us back from who we truly are. Mm.
Yes, I love that visual of the you untangled, and because it does get kind of weedy, and
Mm-hmm.
you I don't know. I'm a gardener, so those who might not garden don't understand how evasive weeds get, and they literally bind and constrict if they're overgrown. So your wonderful approach of helping people see that, connecting to themselves and helping to untangle and be able to cut free.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all about expansion.
Expand, yeah, it's grow and evolve, and yeah, expand. That's what we're here to do in this world, to expand, to evolve into the highest being. Yeah,
And wouldn't you say that's a continuum throughout our whole lives?
it is. Yep. Oh yeah, it never stops. And I have a feeling once I stepped into this role, or like discovered this transformational work, and I'm a coach now myself, I've never stopped learning and never stopped discovering and shedding. And yeah, so it's an exciting place to be in, to just keep growing and evolving. And yeah, and that's why I want to share it with others too.
Yes. And what tips or suggestions do you have for people who start their practice and it feels really good at first, and then all of a sudden it's like there's a contraction, or they hit a challenge or a block? What advice do you have for them to work through that?
So when they do, or yeah, hit a block or feel challenged, it's always good to just, yeah, take a pause, like take a breath. And when you're very emotional in that place, just put a hand on your heart or on your body and just tell yourself it's okay. So we're all going through this, and it's okay to be there. But rather than pushing it away, be with it for 60 seconds or something. And just being like with your hand on your body already calms you down, and you're in a different place, to, instead of reacting, more acting, and sensing, what do I need in that moment, or what else can I choose. So sometimes it's just choosing a different thinking. So rather than feeling angry, what could I choose instead? I could be happy. I can be grateful for just what's in front of me. Yeah, that's what I did myself this morning when I felt like, oh, I'm a little wonky and nervous. And then I stepped outside and I did go into my garden, and I picked the blackberries that have been growing like in an abundance, which is I've never had before. And that made me feel so grateful. And then things shift. Yeah. You find yourself in a different place.
Yes, and just as you shared that, Antonia, even the simple things, less is more, that you can
Mhm.
see the simplicity of the abundance and joy, and just picking blackberries, making you happy, and having that experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I have a question for you. As you were just sharing that, that's why you started this practice, was for yourself first and foremost. Can you share a little bit about that shift from the professional field
Mm.
of where you were at and what you were feeling there, and then how you navigated towards these practices and coaching other people?
Yeah. So when I moved here, that's when I left my corporate world behind me. I've been there. I've worked in that place for 5, 6 years. Well, I've been doing a lot of things in my life. So, but that's where I was, and I was never happy. And I always thought because I'm not good enough, because I'm whatever. I just didn't love it. I made good money. I was always really in a good place, but I just happily left everything behind. And then I was here in the States, and then finding myself again in the same turmoil. And then I had twins at the age of 40, and that made it even harder for me. Like having twins, they're really a mirror to yourself. Children in itself, they mirror back where you are at. And yeah, and that's when I discovered this work, and I just knew it was intuitively. I just knew I have to get certified as a coach and facilitator, not even knowing exactly what to do, but I just knew I need to do it so that I stay on track and stay on that transformational journey. And then while I got certified, and then you practice and you run workshops, then I got a sense, wow, it's working. Like people like what I offer. And I had a really good structure in how to apply my work. So that was like the foundation for me. And that's what I needed. And I think that's what I never had before. I never had a structure how to apply my work. And so maybe now I might be good in the corporate world too, but but I'm just so passionate now about helping others to transform and find themselves in a better place. Yeah.
Yes, and that transformation that you experienced yourself, having that deeper fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of, and I'm not saying everybody in the professional fields feel this way, but I'm hearing a lot of undertone of, yes, they got to do the job to pay the bills, to meet their lifestyles or their choices. And yet it seems like they're sacrificing joy and happiness for that. It's like chasing that to be fulfilled at the end instead of filling your cup now.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So there is like a balance of it all. And honestly, that's what I'm still exploring more, that actually like this exercise with the abundance. I believe the more we do that, like the more we connect with abundance, the more we will create it in whichever way, monetary, I don't know. But we also need to be in a place where we love what we are doing, or at least find a peace where we are at right now. But then connect with your yearnings and your dreams. So what do you truly want to do? And then always in that field of feeling abundant, things will come. We don't know. No, we can never have any expectations. It's just kind of, it's the intention is there. We throw the energy out, and then that's it. And then we let go too. So yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
And I love that you keep saying intention, because that's me, right? Living with intention. And it's,
Yeah.
and the intention coming from a space of curiosity, of being open, of from that heart space, as you said in the beginning, is so important, versus my intention is to do this because of blah blah, and it doesn't feel good. It's not coming from that space. It's more of a
Yeah.
head space versus the heart space.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always stay connected with your heart's desire. It's like this you're at place A, but then you always want to connect it with the place B where you want to be. And who is that person? How does that person show up? What qualities, what skills, and but always think as if you are there already, and then you come back in the here and now and work from that future place as if you are there already. Yeah.
Yes, you're so speaking my language. This is why I was like, yes, I want Antonie to come here and share and co-create with me. Um, because it sounds like also a little bit of just a hint of law of attraction as you're
Oh,
projecting
yeah.
and visualizing and wanting, as you so perfectly said, you know, what does this person want? What qualities, what am I putting out there to receive back? And seeing already in that space, because then that's less pressure, less judgment of how you're doing it, so that you can receive more of little joyful moments as you are on the path. Yeah. Ah, it's been such a pleasure having you here. And for those who want to connect with you and explore more, what is your contact information? What's your website and email address?
Yes, thank you. So you can reach me always on my email with my name, antonie.zigler@gmail.com, or you find me on LinkedIn with my name and Facebook. And I'm, happy to hear from you. And I'd like to mention as well that I do run 3-day master classes, Be the Heroine, Not the Victim, where I really guide you, connecting you with your vision, and then looking at the roadblocks. So what's holding me back from where I truly want to be, and then what's a new way of being. And that's, it's a beautiful experience. I've done it a few times already, and women it's been mostly women, but they just loved the container that I create for them. And so the next one is coming up end of September. So
And is that in person or virtual?
it's virtual on
Oh,
Zoom.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you here, Antonia. I so appreciate you and the light that you're shining, and just allowing people to understand that, yeah, they can let go and be with their heart, and receive more joy in their lives. It's so needed right now.
It is. Yeah. Thank you, April.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, my friends, for tuning in. And if you've enjoyed this conversation, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment. Let Antonia and I know what you enjoyed about this conversation and what you experienced with that abundance uh, experience that she walked us through. Yeah. And until next time, be well, my friends. Woo, yes. Less is more. Thank you for checking out this series. I hope you enjoy it. And please let me know, leave me a comment. And also, don't forget to check out the other episodes that I have with free refills. Yeah, free refills of refilling your mind and your body and allowing yourself to have more in your life. Take in this scene, more clarity, more relaxation. Keep living with intention, my friends.